If you want your WRX to get a lot quicker, the best way to do it is not an intake only, but a J-pipe or a downpipe, and then you pair that with some E-tuning that we get into in a different video I'll mention at the end. But this is a really nice product from MAPerformance. I'll have a link in the description. That link, whether you just click it and check it out, or you end up purchasing, either way, just clicking it helps support us, and it's a free way of making content like this to keep us going. So we appreciate you. Enjoy this video unboxing it, installing it. You'll get a little taste of the sound, and we'll maybe touch on a little bit of tuning and the driving experience. This thing sounds really nice. With this J-pipe, you get a lot more volume out of this car, and you'll really like it. Looks like we have an extension for a O2 sensor. We have the J looking pipe in the midsection. Nice MAPerformance badge right there. They took their time to weld on. High flow cat, nice looking piece, nice welds all around. Then included is a Vibrant Performance 2-bolt exhaust gasket, some sort of mounting hardware. 304 stainless. They're not going to have corrosion or anything else like that. Really nice welds. We got V-bands on this downpipe, and we have everything we need to install it. All the mounting tabs and everything to keep OEM function. So this should be a pretty straightforward install. Be a nice little pickup in speed, spool up a lot faster. It's going to sound a lot louder, and be a nice little addition to the WRX. Great mod. We got the car on the lift. If you have jack stands, you can put it on jack stands, but this is better for us filming. So if you're building your confidence up wrenching for the first time, don't let this distract you. This looks like a 12 on the backside, actually. It looks like a 14 and a 12 maybe. Dang, son. It's got that speed mod. Heading to the front of the car, the splash shield we're gonna lower, that's plastic, and then we have this shield right here, this skid plate, that's gonna be removed, and then we're gonna get access to the turbo to then be able to install our J-pipe, aka downpipe. We have our plastic clip removal tool. This is also on the Amazon list. This thing goes all the way up here. Yeah, the Subarus, yeah, the plastic clips are far. So it goes around the side. Goes all the way up in the wheel well. All the way up in the wheel well. It would have been nice if we removed the wheels, but it's not necessary. Let me get this 10 or something, whatever that is. 12 mil. No, ours is all cut up because when I got the car, clean car, the only thing wrong with it was someone hit something here and it damaged the skid plate, but I already have taken it off and inspected it, and it didn't do any damage to the turbo or anything, but this was dragging on the ground making noise, so I just cut it out. Now we're gonna get the skid plate out of the way. It's a 12 mil also. And there's 4 all the way around. We have our MAPerformance downpipe. I want to get a little mock-up to get an idea of how this is installed. See? J for Jesus. There's a spot right here where this catalytic converter is. That's a one little section, but this one turns it into one. And it all goes like that. Stock location, O2, so let's get this one out of here. To take advantage of the time we're gonna be taking this apart, I wanna get some penetrating oil on this O2 sensor right here. So Parker's grabbing that and he's gonna spray a little bit so it soaks into the threads, and that thing is really easy to break loose. We're gonna spray any bolts on the exhaust because this does so many heat cycles. That's what makes bolts hang on a lot, especially these ones right here, these studs on the turbo. Any bolt you see for what we have to take off, and the O2 sensor. So I'm gonna start disconnecting it right here before the cat. This is 14 mil. Those came loose really easily with the WD-40. Those are hand loose. There it goes. Nice even pressure. Okay, so then we can come all the way right here. There is a secondary catalytic converter right here, but I was just reaching to feel there's no O2 sensor on it, so we're good. Just push this tab out of the way to lower this. I think we're gonna have to take this off. It looks like 14. You wanna get the gun? All right, we need some leverage in this joint. It's pretty heavy. We're gonna get some weight reduction with this. I'm gonna take my 2 nuts, put them back on this so I don't lose them by hand. Essential, regularly used tool, O2 sensor sockets. I'm gonna guess this one will work. Let's try it. This is the 22. Let's go for this front one as a little warm up. Okay, this was clipped in on this heat shield. I just had to press both sides and slide it out. Now I can get this socket on here, and indeed this is a 22. And then I can grab, we can get our good length ratchet, pop it on here, break that loose. That was perfect because of that WD-40. Then just pay attention to your wire, but gently twist it out of here. Then it's sitting out and about. Where my hand is, this wire, there's a plug right here, nice and handy. Got it? We don't need to take that O2 sensor out. It'll be much easier once we get this off the turbo. Looks like 14. That's the hottest part of the car. What if I'm going the wrong way? No, you're going the right way. Oh man. Oh yeah. For the one in the back, 1/4 inch drive with a short 14, you can stick it up in here, maneuver it in place. I just pull gently and it's coming off. Really hard spot to film. That was a nightmare, but I got a wobble socket with the big impact and I just put as much force into it as I could and it actually broke it loose. It's all right, these things happen, don't panic. I was optimistic. I mean, it's loose in there, but sweet.
Surprised that worked, honestly.
Oh, there's, look up here. There's another 14 straight up. That's part of that bracket. Oh, this is important. There's a ground strap right here. We're gonna make sure we remove that. All right, ground.
What'd you have to take off?
The ground strap. Okay, right up in here, this bracket, we need to get off and separated, these two pieces. I've got a 1/4 inch drive, a 14mm shallow. I'm coming up here from the side. This is a angle ratchet, whatever you call these, the head that can move. I come up here and I had it like this and I just applied force after putting WD-40 on it and it broke loose and just putting some smooth, even pressure. Now hopefully this will let us get this pipe out of here. Okay, park here, hold this. Now I wanna take my nut off of the turbo because I had it there to hold this bracket in place sturdy while I applied pressure. Okay, now I can get to the other 10 mil. It's gotta come all the way off. This plate I'm wiggling around, there's two 10s. Now that I have the bracket halfway off, I can get this other 10 in here. I gotta remove it fully to make space. This is gonna be much easier to put back together because the aftermarket downpipe is a lot smaller. Whew. Okay, so this bracket right here does not make it fun, and it was holding it up the whole way. So at the very end, I had to get a pry bar along this edge and kind of work it off the stud on the turbo. Here's the secondary lower O2 sensor. We're gonna put a little anti-seize on the threads, and then this came in the kit. This is a extension cable that connects because, as you can see, the secondary O2 bung is way further downstream. Get a little bit on the threads. That's all you need. And then we're gonna go in here, thread it in, twist the cable with it, and then take just this by hand, the socket, and then we're gonna go hand tight. That's it. It'll expand and get tighter with the heat. So let's go ahead and toss that up there, Park. Our gasket up here on the turbo is still in good shape, so make sure that that's there. Park can slide this up in here on the studs. And that can hang there. This is the bracket, the problematic bracket. Smedia Tanner had a really good idea, just cut it into two pieces because it is a turbo support bracket. So we're gonna do that. I grabbed some anti-seize and put them on the turbo studs just so someone ever had to take it off again. Hopefully they come off easy. This is a coolant line right here, and then right behind where my finger is the spot where the mount goes. So now, since it's one piece, we can take it in like this, walk it onto the stud, and then it will go easily and mount right there instead of being hung up. And then the front one will be the same. Before you put this bracket on again or anything, we made a mistake, don't do it. Put this bracket back first with the 210 mils. I'm gonna snug this up and then we can put everything back. All right, we got it in place. Let's see if I can get the bracket. Like, it only goes in one way because of that coolant line. And now that I don't have a bracket to grab, you gotta like get lucky. Oh, go, go, go. It's pretty much there. It's sitting on there. I'm gonna get my bolts. All right, cool. The other side of our bracket that goes on the front, I'm gonna slide it on to the stud, and then we can take our new nut that is not rounded, get it started. That's in place. I snugged up this nut for the J-pipe, and then I was able to get this one right here that my finger is on tight, and then I snugged these two on this bracket up. And now we can do the others. Parker's grabbing. I'm gonna get some anti-seize right now at the moment for this O2 sensor. I want this only on the threads. Bingo. So we need to twist that the opposite way first. So it's gonna spin to the right a bunch. So spin it to the left a bunch to preload the wire. In the kit, I got a little nut and I have the factory bolt. We need to get this ground strap on. So I'm just gonna put it through, put on the nut on the other side. Here's where the extension clips in, and it's gonna go up through the subframe, up and around town, and then it comes out right here. So then we can just plug it in. And it clips in just like that. And then I have the wire on the top side and we should be good. So this is the cable I routed it and did a zip tie way up in here on that coolant line, I believe that is, to hold this out of the way from the drive shaft. I am gonna check that in a couple days after driving to make sure all is good and that there's no wear on the cable, because I'm not sure how to feel about that. There's not many people online that talk about what to do with that. On to the next section. We need to get one of the V-band clamps handy. Alright, the V-band started. Let me cinch this down a little bit more. V-bands are 13. And it's a 14. Okay. Put this support bracket back. Leave all these super loose until you get them all started. And you snug them up. You've got your J-pipe, downpipe, you're making a lot more power. The car is really fun. If you want to make it look a lot nicer, you can go ahead and put some color matched fender flares on. I'm gonna leave this video right here. Import Image Racing guys hooked it up with some World Rally Blue fenders, and it was all OEM colors you can get. So go check this out so you can look good on the outside and it sounds good.